Hello guys, my name is Antos, and in this video I wanted to show you how you can fix up boring shots like these and turn them into something like this when Mother Nature refuses to cooperate with you. So here's a music video I shot where we were hoping to get this sort of a nice, sort of a summery kind of a vibe because, you know, it's kind of a nice positive song. And all of the scenes that we shot, actually, you know, we got really lucky, we got nice weather. Except this one scene up here. We showed up to the location and it was very just blah looking. You know, it was actually raining on and off, and it just was not the kind of weather that we were hoping for. Unfortunately, the nice car rental that you see up here and the actors that we had and everything were only available for that day, so we had to make do with what we had. So we went ahead, we shot the music video, and now we're kind of looking at it and thinking, okay, can we make these shots look a little bit nicer? At least if we can make it feel like it's not such a dark, overcast day. So to attempt to do this fix, I'm gonna go into Adobe After Effects and kind of start playing around with these shots. And now, before we continue with this tutorial, I want to give a big thanks to our sponsor for today, which is VFX. They offer some of the largest Final Cut bundles online. They have 10 premium packs in one bundle, over 90 themed titles and over 60 themed lower thirds. There are no plugins needed to run this, and it's also fully customizable in Final Cut Pro X. So once again, for great assets for video editing, for Final Cut Pro X or YouTuber bundles and so on, go check out vfxnut.com. So here we have the first sort of aerial shot that I'm going to kind of play around with, and first thing that I can do, and really I would say the biggest thing, is literally just replace the sky. If you replace the sky up and just make it, you know, look nice and sunny, then it's going to look better, right? So how I'm going to do this is pretty simple. I have my here, these are just the widescreen bars, so you can see this is how it looks, so we can hide those for now. And I'm going to take this footage, right click on it, go track camera, and it's going to start 3D tracking the camera for us. And this might take a while depending on the speed of your computer and basically how big the footage is and how many frames. So just kind of wait for it, wait till basically here, you know, it shows that it's done 100%. Now the reason why we're tracking the camera is because if we were to just put in, you know, a new sky element, obviously it would not move the same way as the camera is moving in here. So we kind of want to make it feel like it's a part of the scene. So there, as you can see, it's finished tracking. Now it says solving camera. Now that is done. And, you know, first glance looks like nothing happened. You select here the 3D camera tracker, and you're going to see it created all these little points. You know, if you kind of scroll through it, those points are basically more or less moving with the footage, right? So that means it did a good job. So now we can create a camera based on that. So click the create camera. And for now, basically, we can just leave this up here, but we basically have a 3D camera. So if I go into here, into our two views, so this is our camera view, and this is from the top, for example, view. And you can see here, this is the camera, and as I scroll, you can see kind of what's happening here. So this camera is going along this path, and it's kind of basically panning up. So that's more or less what our camera was doing here in our drone shot. So that means that it is correct. So next thing we got to do is actually put in an element into this 3D space. So I have actually a sky here image. It's this little thing. So you can take a photo or whatever. This literally, that's what it is. It's a photo. So I'm just gonna drag and drop it here. And now what I want to do is I want to, because right now it's just basically a 2D piece of image, but I actually want to make it a 3D layer. So you see here you have 3D layers in After Effects. Enable it for this thing, and now you can see here in our top view, this is the camera here. If I select the camera, you'll see it. This is the camera, and this is our sky here. It's basically like a flat image now that's floating in 3D space. So I want to move this away, like really far away, because, you know, the sky is then the clouds are supposed to be really far away. So I'll move it really far, even further. I can move it like this. And then I can also here extend the transform tools. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it now, because I wanted this to be big enough so we can see it in our shot. And I can place it like this here. And we can just quickly kind of see, is this, you know, now looking like it's a part of the scene, like is this moving basically. So there, it's pretty good, I think. So maybe we can move it away even more on the Z space. So move it even further away. Alright, and scale it up even more, because I need to make sure that it covers our whole basically shot here. So, and I'm more or less going to align like the image's horizon with the horizon in our shot. Somewhere there. And there, I think it looks like it's a part of the scene more or less. So I think once I have it like this, then next thing I can do is I'm going to move this actually here below this anamorphic widescreen basically bars that we have. So this is kind of how it's going to look. I can preview this, I kind of see how this looks. So looks more or less already like it's kind of, you know, like it fits the shot. Now obviously this horizon here doesn't blend in with our horizon, but otherwise look at this. It looks like those clouds are actually there, far away in the you know, away from the camera. So that's pretty good. So now the next thing we got to do is, if you look at the original shot, we obviously have, you know, this very like details there in the horizon, but we also have these power lines. So we want to be able to kind of bring some of the stuff back into our shot. So probably the best way to do this is by using a Luma basically mask, and there's different ways of doing that actually, but I'll kind of show you a little trick that I like using. So I'll basically duplicate the shot right now. I'll put it here above our sky layer. I'm going to now take also this layer, and I'm going to duplicate it one more time. And now I'm going to go into effects, and I can delete the camera tracker from these two layers, and take the top layer of our footage. And I'm gonna do a few little things to kind of with the color grading. So first I'm gonna go and which one should I do? Actually here I'm gonna go to channel and go invert, make it basically you know, basically flip that thing, make it like a negative. Then go to hue and saturation and just bring the saturation all the way down, so we end up with like a inverted black and white image. And basically what I want to do is I want to adjust the brightness now of the shot, so that I have, you know, like the horizon and the sky be kind of they're, you know, there's a big difference, so that the sky turns kind of black basically and the horizon is white. And this one then I can use as an alpha matte, so that anything that's white, or the whiter it is, the more opaque it's going to be, and whatever's darker or blacker is going to be you know, it's going to be more transparent. And I just want to mainly make the sky there transparent. So I can go now to our color correction, take levels, and I can see right away that in this shot most of the information is here. So I'll clip the white here by moving this. So you see that right away makes the sky darker. I'll also clip the white areas here to make the horizon kind of more, kind of, you know, basically more noticeable, so more opaque. And the same thing here with the power lines. It's gonna make it nice and strong. And maybe pull this down even more, and we can take the midpoint also and kind of darken this thing. So somewhere there, maybe the power lines have disappeared too much, so I'll bring some of that stuff back now. So something like that, I think it should be a pretty good matte. Now I can hide that layer, and what I'm going to do is the layer underneath it, which you know, is just the original footage. I'm going to go here to our track matte, and by the way, if this doesn't show up for you in After Effects, just anywhere up here, right click on it and go to columns, and you want to make sure that your mode is there, is showing up. So yeah, make sure that the mode is on. This will show you the mode, and it will also show you the track matte. So what we want to do is now for the layer underneath it, we want to select a track matte, and we want to select Luma matte, and basically it always takes the layer up above it, so that's why the one up above it we made it black and white, and I want to use the Luma from that. So put that, and what this will do is, if you just kind of look at it, is it makes this top layer now kind of opaque, right, on top of this. So now we can reveal our sky, And as you'll notice, our sky now shows up here, basically where, you know, kind of, you can still see the power lines and all that stuff. Whereas without that, we see the sky kind of obscured the rest of our shot. Whereas here, some of our horizon is back and things like that. Now, obviously, our sky also layer is, first of all, I would say it's probably has to go a little bit higher. And we can also kind of fade it off. It doesn't, you know, usually you don't see as much detail like right over the horizon. So I'm going to kind of fade it away by creating a rectangle, basically taking the rectangle tool, creates a mask. And I'm going to take that mask now and I'm going to feather it actually. So I'll just click this and I can zoom in kind of here so you can see what's happening. If I hide the top layer, you'll see this is our, here. This is our mask, so you can select those 2 points and we can kind of move it up here. And this is basically what I've created here. So I can move this line now and I think somewhere here should be good. Maybe feather it a bit more. So as you can see, it's just slowly making the clouds disappear, you know, the more basically further down we go. So this is without the sky, now with the new sky. But now we want to bring some of the detail back of those power lines and things like that. So I'm going to now reveal our layer up above it. And you can see there, those power lines now show up. Now, if you don't think it's enough, and also like the horizon and stuff like that looks nice. But if you don't think it's enough, then we can now take our top layer, which we've inverted and then made, you know, adjusted the levels. And we can just further kind of play around here, you know, by, let's say, pulling the point here, you're going to make it a bit more visible. So I can maybe pull it up a little bit more. We can adjust this to maybe make it a bit more visible by making it, you know, basically going more to the left. So there you have it. See, now those power lines are a bit more visible and things like that. And anyways, let's see how our shot now looks. So this was the original shot. So definitely looks kind of just, you know, boring because the sky is kind of all cloudy. And now here we brought some blue into it, and because the desert has all these brownish colors, so right away you have color contrast and things like that. So I think it's pretty cool. So now let's render this and let's see how the shot looks. And definitely I think the shot looks a lot more interesting now if you look at this. And now we can apply very simple color correction. We can just you know, just make the, you know, bring up the saturation even more, kind of add some vibrance, and there you go. This is our kind of final shot. Definitely looks a lot more just brighter, like a nice summer day, than what our original shot looked. So now, you know, and you can see kind of how quickly it is to apply this effect. As now literally all you have to do is just take this, basically create the same effect in all the other shots in your film or music video, whatever it is that you're working on, and you right away you can change the atmosphere in your scene. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, you know what you have to do. Smash that, you know, like button, share the video if you haven't already. Actually subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm always releasing new tutorials and gear reviews and just anything filmmaking related. Yeah, hopefully, like I said, if you guys enjoy this, you're gonna be back around here for more stuff on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Si vieras cómo goza, qué chica tan hermosa, ella es para mí.